Hello, world. Welcome to part 74 of the drama. And I'm going to pick up where we left off, talking about, Andrew's video about how the elite have fallen. And he makes 5 million different points in every video. So for some reason, that video towards the end, he says something like fascist commie fucks. Or not something like, but exactly like. He literally uses that term, fascist commie fucks. And it's like, okay, well, so like, are you just trying to display that you have no understanding of those words? Yeah, that's where I'll finish up with that video because like it's like once again, he was talking in the beginning about like cryptocurrency and the elites, and then he ends up with fascist commie fucks, and it's like, all right, dude, thanks for staying on topic. So yeah, we can move on to the next video because why not?
Yeah. And the fascist commie fucks, I'm pretty sure, is something he would ascribe to you and I. And that's my thing is like, I'll take commie fuck. You can call me a commie all day. I'll take communist. I'm not a fascist. I'll take
No, I'm
communist.
not a fan of like nationalism
Right.
or like all of the other things that go into fascism.
I've
I'm
got to
more
ask
fan
you this.
of communism. Yeah.
Is isolationism a feature of fascism?
Not that I know of.
Okay, interesting. Because you would think it would be, right?
There is there's a guy who I've mentioned to you previously. I think his name is Jason Stanley or something like that, and he's written multiple books about fascism, and he has a video by Big Think, which we've talked about linking some things in the videos, and I think we should absolutely link this. Jason Stanley's Big Think video on fascism goes over the tenets of fascism, and
I'm
it's
gonna
like,
watch that. I
um,
love Big
yeah,
Think.
a mythic past, ultra nationalism. There are a few things in there, but I don't think that is a tenet of fascism.
Okay, fair enough. All right. So let's move on to video number 5 in our order. And that is his first PsyOps video. And my basic note on this is that he says, again, word for word, America was not built on a solid foundation. I would argue that it was. And that solid foundation was unions and a high corporate tax rate. When we had those things, America saw its most prosperous times.
So this is one of the more unfortunate things is when you're talking about like foundations of America, like you should probably go back to like all the way to,
Constitution.
yeah, the Constitution. Like somebody brought up the idea that the Federalist Papers were foundational documents, and it's like, yeah, I like that idea, but yeah, it's based. So yeah,
I have the Federalist Papers. Yeah.
love the Federalist Papers. So yeah, I mean, really, foundations of America and what you're talking about is like stuff that was happening in the 20th century. To be fair, what you were talking about was, yeah, like 20th century, like progressive politics, and that is totally fine if you want to like talk about foundations of America in like 20th and 21st century, but like
Yeah.
going back, it's more philosophical.
Right. And so I guess what I'm talking about is the modern foundations of America, right?
Progressive
Right.
tax rates, and what else do you say?
Unions.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Oh, yeah. No, I actually got to talk to my students about how police departments were unfortunately created to bust unions. Like that was the thing. In
And
most cities, police departments were funded by private capital, and this private capital was basically trying to put down unions, and they
yep,
basically created police departments as strike busters.
yeah,
So like the union people were staging these strikes.
right.
That's funny. Is like people talk about strikes occurring right now, and it's like it's kind of coming full circle 100 years later. But yeah, like, dude, it is unfortunate that union membership is nothing compared to what it used to be.
And not only that, but worker like compensation and everything. That's the thing is like union membership, the decline in that directly correlates to like the minimum wage and like literally every other metric that you would like base an economy on has like been an indirect correlation to union membership. Like union membership is what makes a prosperous society. And that's what we have, but we don't anymore.
Yeah, the best ways to grow the middle class is through membership, and uh what a lot of people don't realize is that like you actually need a robust middle class. You can't have a bunch of poor people or a bunch of rich people. Like even if like, oh, everybody's rich, like that's not good. That's not a good thing. Like, yeah, you need a robust middle class to experience prosperity. Like, because that means more people are doing good.
Yep. All right, so there is a weird thing that happens because he put a video about Tucker Carlson and controlled opposition in between the psyops videos because our last video is the Maui Wowie psyops thing, and I have tons of research on that one. And like none on the middle one, which is Tucker Carlson. So let's talk about that, I guess.
Yeah, the idea of control opposition is basically when Trump is like, "Oh, Fox, Fox is left wing now." And it's like, okay,
Right.
what?
Right. Or Trump calling Newsmax left wing, and it's like, really?
Well, Newsmax, maybe not, but Fox, like that's it. It's like, yeah, I pay a little closer attention, and like it's like Fox turned on him, and it's like a whole thing. So yeah, exactly. The Newsmax thing, probably not. OAN, definitely not. But yeah, he yes, this whole idea of controlled opposition, and like the fact that it is literally being applied to like legitimate hardcore through and through right wingers, and it's like, dude, you really think people like Ben Shapiro and Tucker Carlson
Thank
are
you.
controlled opposition? Like,
Right.
okay, I guess, yeah, they're not real right wingers.
They're not real right wingers, right? Exactly. Like Tucker Carlson and Ben Shapiro are secretly on the left wing.
Yeah, definitely.
So, and I feel bad because I keep looking at my notes, but like this is the video that it literally looks like he is reading off a script.
Oh,
And it's like, well, I'm just gonna write this down and then I'm gonna read it.
not that. Not
Which
that
is
no.
something we don't do. We just talk. So
Yeah, no, it's something you have mentioned this previously, and like rewatching his videos, it's really not just the one we're talking about, but like in multiple videos, it's like
evident.
reading. Yes, it's
Yeah.
very evident.
Right. And so, anyways, another thing that he literally calls Tucker Carlson witty, charismatic, funny. And my argument there is, yeah, he's witty and charismatic and funny like Ben Shapiro is,
And cartoon characters.
like Ben Shapiro is, because you know who thinks Ben Shapiro is funny? Ben Shapiro.
I'm sorry, you witty, charismatic, and funny.
Yep.
I'm gonna go back. Those are the qualities of a cartoon character.
Word for word, that is what he says Tucker is. And when he said that, and you asked me, you're like, does he bring up Ben Shapiro in this video? I'm like 98% positive he doesn't. He only talks about Tucker, and the attributes that he will assign to Tucker are the same that you could assign to Ben Shapiro. And this is what my biggest thing about Ben Shapiro is, he thinks he's funny. Like Ben Shapiro laughs at his own jokes. Like,
Yep, he absolutely does. He's that type. And
right?
sorry, but I just have to keep going back to it because you're not acknowledging it. These are the attributes of a cartoon character.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're
I
right.
was talking
Bugs Bunny, Elmer Fudd.
talking to Lori today about Tucker Ever Loving Carlson, and I was just like, yeah, he's a guy. No, like when people try to have conversations with you about Tucker Carlson, yes, I get to the point where I'm just like, yeah, he seems like a cartoon character to me. That's
Right?
really what he is. Like Rick or Morty or fucking Bird Person. Like he's a cartoon character. Like he's not a real person. What you're seeing, and that's the thing, is like he was kicked off Fox or fired or whatever. And
Okay.
like he's producing content elsewhere, and it's like
Right.
he looks everything he creates, he seems like a cartoon character.
And that was actually, I think, the reason Andrew made a video about him is that he got kicked off Fox, and it's like this whole like counter culture figure or whatever, right?
In my opinion, he was able to add him like in the title of his video.
Right. Well, that's what he does
Like
in every
his
video.
clout chaser
Yep.
in the world.
Yep.
It's insane.
No. And I've thought about us doing that as well, actually, I'll be honest with you. Well, like,
My big
but what are we at?
Yep.
You know, like, what are we at? So,
Yeah. I don't think we care as much as he does.
no. So the last one in my notes is Maui Wowie, and it's the PsyOps other one. So I also have like a ton of notes on this one.
No, well, I'll get us started then.
Okay, go ahead.
This is one of the prime examples of where he doesn't explain what
Yes.
he's talking about. It's like,
Yep.
dude, I would love to know how you think the Hawaii wildfire is a psyop. Because, like, yes, and it goes back to the Bronny James video where it's like, I actually have emotions when he is going over topics like the Maui wildfire where a lot of people died, or the Ron James thing that happened where it's like that's once again, like I actually once again have real emotions about these. And
Yeah. So like my thing is like I actually want to reach out to Sam and Andrew and be like, do you know anyone? Because that makes sense to you, but like talking about Sam Yannick and Andrew Higby, like these are dudes that I know that lived in Hawaii. Like they lived there, right? Am I wrong?
Andrew lived in Hawaii for a very, very long time.
Long time. Didn't Sam too? Not for a long time, but Sam did. Didn't Sam live there?
I mean, yeah, I guess it can. Yeah, I mean, maybe I don't know.
Either way, I bet Andrew knows people who are affected by this fire.
Yeah, probably.
Oh shit, not only that, but I bet you Andrew lives closer. Not bet. I know that Andrew lives closer to oh shit, Andrew is the other name. Andrew Higby lives closer to Andrew Lordson than either of us live to Andrew Lordson. And Higby is the guy who would sit down at a table with us and be like, yeah, I can call people in Maui right now who are affected by the fire. I hate you for being a conspiracy theorist about this because I have friends who are dying.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
One of the most frustrating things is the fact that, like, he rarely elaborates on the points that he's like trying to make. It's like, okay. And those are the other thing where the other frustrating thing is that, like, he talks about like wanting to have a conversation with people, and it's like, okay, I would love to have a conversation with you about this.
Yep. About this. My main thing that I want to talk to him about after watching all this shit is chemtrails. Um, anyways, my first note on that Maui Waui video is he's like, is it just nature? And he asked this question in a facetious way. And my answer is yes, it's called fire. I wrote it in all caps in my notes. It's right there. So, anyways, yeah. Is it just nature? Yes. Yes, it's called nature.
Yeah.
Nature is reacting in a way right now because of what we've done.
One of the things that separates primates from other species is our control. What's really, you might find this interesting, is like lower primates can control fire. Did you know that? Like chimpanzees, gorillas, they're not like afraid of fire. They can't control fire the way we can. But
They
like,
can make fire.
no. When wildfires occur,
Yeah, right.
every fucking species runs away.
Correct.
Primates, even the lower primates, they're like, they do fire dances and like, yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, exactly.
We should talk more about that.
Yeah, we probably should.
So I have a bunch of notes. Yeah, so I don't know where it came in, but I was watching it, and yeah, if we're poisoning our bodies, which is something he talks about, and it's like, oh yeah, we're just poisoning ourselves through chemtrails. why is the life expectancy like 90 fucking years old? Like life expectancy has not gone down ever.
Just keeps. Well,
Thank you.
this is
Right? Just keeps going up.
I think it has gone down in America.
And it's like, oh, to
It's
70.
here. It's like, oh, it went from 78 to 77.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So the video that we should link in this is called Fine Tuning the Climate. And this is my thing, is like he talks about weather manipulation, and he actually brings up, even he says this is the word geoengineering, and then he takes like this big ass pause after he says the word, like it's like some devastating thing. And I think geoengineering is a positive thing. That's just all there is to it, I guess. So, yeah.
Sounds like progressive policy, which
And so I'll get to my quotes again later, but on the geoengineering thing is like, dude, basically we're trying to create clouds to insulate the earth because it's getting too fucking hot.
I'm sorry to go there, but like I feel like this is where he would, or hopefully we would get into the topic of
Research.
tier one civilizations and tier two.
Oh,
Yeah,
fuck, dude.
I'm sorry.
Nope.
Right? But that's what I'm saying. It's
No,
like,
not right now.
but no, like terraforming and like, no. Have you ever, yeah. The idea of like, yeah, terraforming and tier one, tier two civilizations, we don't need to get into right now. Sorry. Keep going on your notes because I don't have any.
Yeah, I was talking about fine tuning the climate and manipulating the weather and geoengineering and stuff like that. And I actually was hoping that you would have something to say about that, but if that's not the case, that's fine.
Didn't I just elaborate on that?
Yeah. So, anyways, he also says we must fight, and then also he says knowledge, awareness, information, communication. And so, knowledge, awareness, and information is like the first part that I want to address, because it's like, dude, you don't reference anything ever. So, where does your knowledge, awareness, and information come from? Like, is it just you thinking what you think? Or, like, again, knowledge, awareness, and information. The last part of that is communication. Again, I will challenge you. Please give me the opportunity for communication.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
No, it's just like the only thing
Because I will challenge you on knowledge, awareness, and information if you communicate with me. Word for word, those 4 words in a row. So,
that's what he does. That's his shtick. It's Gish God.
Yep, that's what he does. He is and that's what Ben Shapiro says, and that's what they do. They gish gallop, is they launch a bunch of words, and it's like, you don't really know what you're talking about, do you?
I've been trying to explain this to Lori, and the
Yep,
fact that
yep,
you may or may not have been following Vivek Ramaswamy, but I
yep.
have been quite thoroughly, and that is really one of his biggest things. I watch a lot of like his interviews, like press conferences, like whatever like I can consume of him. I'm trying to, and
Yeah.
that is ultimately what I'm surmising is that like he's just another one of these right wing gish gallopers where he says 7 points, and then when you try to nail him down on one, he's like, well, I was talking about this, and this. And it's like, well, I want to talk to you about this.
Right. And so also, and that's my thing is like I feel like we consume political content on a different level
Yeah.
because something that I know specifically about Vivek, who you just referenced, is he just went from 2 to 10, and so the Republican support right now is like, like 60% Donald Trump, and then like 10% DeSantis and 10% Vivek. And yeah, I realize there's like 30% missing there in my math or whatever, 40%. But yeah,
We
exactly.
should not be relying on polls.
Right.
I want to say because we only have like a minute left.
And polls, if the polls are right, Hillary Clinton would have been our president. So
Yeah, exactly. Right. If the polls were right, we would all be back at brunch.
but I'm actually glad because that was the last video. So sign us off, brother.
Knowledge is power.